The TQM initiative, if your modules are turned on, can help you advance your strategy to whatever strategy you've picked. If you're going for the cost leader, you probably want to make sure that you're putting most of your efforts, especially if you only have limited resources, into your reduction in cost of goods and probably a demand increase as well. Whereas if you're playing right up at the very front edge of the circle and you need your product to be redesigned every year, you're probably going to be wanting to spend a lot of money in R&D cycle time reductions, because this way you can automate your products higher if you so choose, but most importantly you can keep up with the circles. As you can see here, Andrews and Chester both have 40% increase in their R&D because they both have products in that high-tech area. Again, the green squares, that's where you can change which numbers you're putting in. The green book, it offers a S-curve chart that looks just like this, which shows basically the returns that you're going to be getting. If you're spending less than $250,000, it's not enough to really make any changes in the company, and you're basically wasting that money. Whereas if you spend over $1 million, again, you're really not getting much return after that. The curve here is the steepest at $750,000. That's going to be your most cost-effective point. But that's where your most cost-effective point is. So if you're trying to just keep up with everybody else, 750 is probably pretty good. Expenditures beyond 2.5 million over 2 to 3 years on a particular initiative are going to push well into diminishing returns, and so you're not going to be getting much back. The most aggressive schedule for investing in TQM, if you really believe in it and you want to push a whole lot through, would be 1 million, 1 million, and then 500,000 in the third year. But you do need to realize that you're pushing well into diminishing returns there, and you're not going to be getting quite the return back as you thought you may have earlier on. And you may look at possibly investing here, or maybe using that capital to increase your automation in your factories, or introducing new products, or using it in another fashion. That's part where your strategy is going to come out. So again, you add in your numbers here. And because these numbers are already filled in, I'm going to take you to a chart that I put through in an Excel, which shows a very interesting pattern. What I did was I put in the very first round $1,000 in for the CPI systems, and then I recorded what happened. Everything else was zeros from here on down. And then I put a 0 back in at the CPI, and then I put a 1,000 in for vendor. Did the same thing again. The QIT did it again. And then this is where the interesting part came in, is I summed up the totals. For this one I got 0.8, so on and so forth. But what I realized was when I put $1,000 in each of them at the same time, the game gives you a synergy. And so my actual was actually 5.9, decrease in my materials cost 7.2, instead of, had they not had the synergistic effect, of just 2.2. So realize that as you are playing this, it will pay to also get the synergies from investing in multiple initiatives at the same time, to really get the people in your company excited about working better. And just remember to apply your TQM initiatives to whatever it is your strategy. If you're abroad and you're playing in all the different, and you're playing in each one of the segments, you probably need to invest a little bit in each one of them. But if you're just playing in, say, the low tech or the high tech, if you're just in the low tech, you probably don't need your R&D. Whereas if you're in your high tech, you definitely need the R&D.